Alright, welcome in. We are straight up reacting to the second place run. Doogile got a 730, as many of you guys may have seen. I did upload a video the other day asking whether the world record is quote-unquote unbeatable. It's not. I know it's not. It's definitely 100% beatable. I just honestly believed that given the fact that the world record had stood for so long, it would stand for a little while. However, I am less confident in that, given the fact that Doogile was able to get not only this run, but there's been tons of runs in the past 4 or 5 days that have all been amazing. Doogile, I believe, got 3... here we go, you can see them all here. He got 3 sub-9s in the last few days. He's just an absolute demon. He's cranking these sub-9s out. Obviously, getting second place, beating Xylenox's time, only missing out on world record by around about 4 or 5 seconds. It's a fantastic run. Obviously, links are down in the description. This is on Doogile's second account, at Doog1. Make sure you go and subscribe, and obviously subscribe to his Twitch as well. He's live basically every day on there as well, doing ranked runs, doing resets. So make sure you drop him a follow. Let's start off this run. It does start in a remarkably similar way to how the world record does. On a beach, except we noticed the ruin portal straight away, which is something that No Fear's run didn't have. Kind of the buried treasure was the first thought, and then the ruin portal was the second thought. In this one, we see the ruin portal instantly, head straight on over towards it. And once again, this time we grab a couple of things. Some obsidian is going to be useful. Gold armor's nice. And no food in this one, unlike the 6 golden carrots we saw in the world record. But at least we get a flint and steel, which is obviously going to be really helpful. The portal's completable, I believe. And obviously we see this shipwreck right here. Going to give us some wood, going to give us some iron. And substantially enough iron for him to make full wooden tools. And, full iron tools and shears if he does want to. Again, similar to how the run for No Fear went. Just a different source of food in this run. To be fair, the shears are going to be pretty tough here. The leaves are all kind of high up, so I don't know if he will go for them. Makes the iron... Okay, does go for the shears. I don't know how he's going to deal with this, because this... Whoa! Whoa, I didn't know this in the run. That's wild. He replaces the wood underneath him after he breaks it to be able to grab the leaves. That's very, very interesting. I don't know if that's the correct play. It's probably beyond my pay grade. I don't know if I should be the one that says whether this is correct or not. But it feels pretty wild to place more wood when in reality you could probably just deal with this jungle wood here. Well, I assume he may dig down on this pillar so that he can get to the food chest on the right-hand side. Or he may instead decide to dig through the... dig through the sand instead. Okay. Okay, a bunch of carrots. No golden carrots, but we could maybe get a gold block from this ruin portal, which I would presume is what Doog does here. Kind of organizing the inventory, not doing a whole lot, and deciding to... Yeah, I believe we're going to see a portal repair here. Amazing. Dude, I love this portal repair. It's way more difficult than the one from No Fear. It requires a bit more mechanics, but... doesn't go for the gold block, which I'm kind of interested by, because I think just having those gold carrots could allow him to, I don't know, pearl more aggressively, play slightly more confidently. But again, a similarly slow nether enter here at like 146, a very, very similar time to No Fear's enter. And, you know, we're talking with slightly less food, slightly fewer blocks, just a slightly worse inventory setup, just for the fact that there's 7... raw carrots and 2 suspicious stew versus the 4 cod, 3 salmon, 6 G carrots from No Fear. So it's a pretty tough... it's a much more difficult situation for Doogile. But once we enter the nether, obviously, we have the simple strategy of the E-ray is going to be coming out straight away. He notices that there's a bastion in this direction, heads straight there. And we do notice the Soul Sand Valley Fortress on the left-hand side, which is awesome. Actually, re-F3's there. I think he might have been going in the wrong direction, so re-E-rays and goes to the right. Takes the lower terrain because the top looks like it cuts off, which is really, really nice. And obviously this bastion is right here on his right. Housing could be doing Manhunt here. This is probably what's going through his mind. Are we going for Manhunt, or are we going for any other situation? Well, it's just going to be Manhunt because we're at the bottom of this housing here. Spots this chest. Obviously, there are two main routes for housing. Either top-down, which is kind of self-explanatory. You go from the top of the bastion down. And Manhunt, we start at the bottom and we go into the good part. And we're going to see that right here. Even if there is lava on the floor, we're going to probably see Doogile crank over it with the leaves. Or maybe with wood, because I think it burns slightly slower. Gonna break this chest here. Oh, okay, no lava at the bottom. This is beautiful. Having the dry Manhunt, allowing him to break this chest, anger all of these piglins, and they're gonna chase him into the bottom of the bastion, which is awesome. Also toggles his difficulty to hard. I don't know why that pig in front of him wasn't angry. Was he standing behind a block? This guy here just doesn't get angry. And I'm kind of surprised that Doogile doesn't go for a punch on the way past. Because it would re-aggro maybe some of the piglins that are higher up on this side of the bastion. Again, he is in F5 mode. It is a bit annoying. It is a bit out of his way. But definitely could be a consideration there. I really like this as well. I know that some players like to use lava here, but Doogile goes for flint and steel. So by placing these two bits of fire, the piglins will not try and pathfind to you by going this way. Instead, they'll come up the stairs and follow you, which is exactly where you want them to go. Weirdly, I'm not hearing any piglins being angry at him. He's not getting chased by any piglins here. So this Manhunt route could be a little bit slow, which is a little bit tough. Not hearing any pigs behind him. This is a bit of a nightmare. That's really unfortunate. Toggles his difficulty back to hard to try and get piglins to fall down. So by putting your difficulty on hard, piglins are more happy to take damage to try and kill you. So for example, if a piglin's in a high up spot, they are happy to maybe walk off an edge and instead take more fall damage just so that they can try and hit you once. So by toggling to hard, I believe the difference between hard and normal is the exact same. So toggling between easy to normal versus easy to hard doesn't make a difference. But the difference is on easy, that'll only drop, I think it's 5 blocks, might be wrong. Someone in the comments will correct me if I'm wrong. And I think on hard, it goes up to 7 blocks. I'm going to need to get fact checked on that. But I know they drop further if they're on hard mode. Obviously, Doogile just getting the normal expected gold blocks. I hear a few more angry piglins maybe coming from the Manhunt route now. Obviously, does have a lot of gold. But it could have been useful to have 1 gold block for the golden carrots. I believe Doogile uses home portal here, so he doesn't actually need to get all 20 obby. So maybe could do with a few less trades. Just clearing out his inventory. Really, really efficient way of cleaning the inventory here. Within just a few seconds, he's able to just notice absolutely everything that he needs and everything that he doesn't. We can see here his inventory is basically full. 33 out of the 36 slots are full. And by the time, just 2 or 3 seconds later, he's got absolutely everything out of there that he doesn't need. And he's down to exactly what he does need. Puts the food in the offhand and is able to eat that as soon as that is done. Gets a good jump boost effect. Not particularly useful, but actually one of the better ones because it doesn't give you any downsides. Obviously, you've got things like weakness, which in this case wouldn't actually be that bad. But blindness can be a bit frustrating because it also kind of gives you that slowing effect, as well as obviously things like poison wouldn't be ideal. And then the best one you can get is saturation, being the best saturation food in the game. But obviously it is random as to what potion effect it is going to give you. Doogile grabs the iron nuggets. Not that I think he needs them for anything, right? No, I don't think he does. He's got an iron axe. Everything that he probably needs, unless I'm forgetting something. And 17 obby, but he is just going to go. He knows that the home portal's close, and given that this run was just after the world record using a home portal, I think that that's probably fresh in his mind. He's just going to be able to, rip a couple of pearls straight back to the fortress and pearl hang back towards the home portal. Okay, so now he's using the spare gold to make G carrots, which I like, which is great. Obviously, he's going to get the same amount of golden carrots either way. I don't know if eating them earlier or making them earlier would have been beneficial. I would have personally probably thought about grabbing the gold block in the overworld, but it does just lose you time. And I'm not a world record contender, so I would, if I had to choose, I would probably take Doogile's decision-making over my own. But I'm just trying to explain my thoughts and kind of analyze it to the best of my abilities. Break it down for people and kind of show exactly what Doogile's doing here. Obviously, he notices he's back at his home portal. I'm assuming he's going to throw a pearl to the fort, throw a cool pearl hang. He may even do the straight-up pearl throw here that we see some runners do. So throw a pearl this way and then throw one up. Okay, he's not going to. Just going to do a regular pearl hang here. Also, he's overlapping 5 render distance with the pearl hang, which is fantastic. Able to increase the blaze spawns using the lower render distance, hopefully. And obviously, Soul Sand Valley is the best biome in the game to do the 5 render distance trick with, where you can try and get some more blazes to spawn around you. Already seeing blaze crackles. This is beautiful. Gets 1 spawn, 2 spawns right there. Perfect. And I believe I know that he goes... Oh, he doesn't go 5 for 5. Okay, I think he goes 5 for 6 then. Exactly the same rates as No Fear as well. It's a really, really similar run. Just a few seconds apart. 2 rods. Oh, I didn't even see that with a skeleton there. Lucky that he obviously has the golden carrot, so it really doesn't make too much of a difference. 4, and obviously he decides not to go for the blaze that kind of flew down here. There was a 4th spawn in that stray pack, but it's kind of off the edge. So I think even if he does get the kill there, it's probably going to drop the rod down the side of the fortress, so it's not particularly helpful. Gonna get the 5th rod and then kills a 6th. Oh, okay. So he does try and push for 6 rods, but simply doesn't get it and goes for the increase in render distance, going back to his home portal. I mean, I love this play. It's home portal finally getting the recognition it deserves with 2 back-to-back first and second place runs. Boat Eye as well. I think we see a successful 1 throw though, right? Yeah, there we go. So measuring that eye, 1102, 100% accuracy. And how many beds have we got here? 5 explosives. And he needs 1 single extra piece of glowstone dust. So notice here that to make 1 anchor, you need to have 3 glowstone blocks and 1 extra glowstone to charge the anchor. Obviously, he's only got 3 glowstone dust, so he needs 1 more to be able to charge it. But I think on the way to the second portal, there's not a single piece of glowstone that's particularly accessible. The only way he could have got it was in the bastion, and that's not really something you're thinking about at that point in time. Instead, you're probably thinking about it now. You go, okay, right, I've got 5 explosives. Maybe he feels more comfortable with a 6 explosive 0, so he's probably thinking about that. But there's absolutely no time for him to think about it. 2 perfect pearls, and he's at the coordinates, like about 7 blocks off. So we're just going to see him crank over to these 164 and 24. He's at the 24 right now. 164 is here. Makes the portal perfectly. Really quick, as expected. And spawns in the starter staircase. Preemptive. And spots something in that direction. So goes... Oh my god, insta. Pearls in the stronghold. Oh my god. Pearls aggressively down the corridor as soon as he sees it. So that he knows, and he just saves an... Like, this is pretty much copy and paste of No Fear's run. Holy shit, this is actually, like, so similar. That's so similar. Pearls straight down here. Places the block and goes straight in for... He does attempt the 0 cycle here, I believe. I believe it was 065, so... sorry, 056, what am I saying? 065. You can see on the left-hand side right here, 056. This means that the block at the surface, or the block that is highest up and exposed to air, is going to be at Y level 56. And obviously you start by looking at 52. So Doogile knows that he can dig 3 blocks. I think it's 3. And then you can clip through the final block. 1, 2, 3, and then... 4. I'm stupid. So he throws... he breaks 4 blocks, clips through the final block, and goes for 0 cycle with 5 explosives. Throws the pearl. It is front dragon, but it is high. And I can't remember exactly what the tower is. 91. Okay, this is tough. And just decides to dip straight out of it. It's sad. Good, very, very good level runners who I've spoken to this about have basically said this is doable. but it needs to be offset by 1 because of the tower height, I believe. So if you're building up to 95, you need to offset by 1 block. It's something that I'm still learning. Zero Cycle is pretty confusing as a whole. There's just a lot of setups. And I think that potentially with the nerves, only with 5 explosives, and with the 56 pearl clip, and on world record pace, I can understand why Doog hasn't gone for this Zero Cycle. It would have been world record if he hit the 0. Bear that in mind. However, obviously, very, very difficult 0 to hit. And, you know, from a guy like me, I'm not the guy that's going to be judging people for not going for Zero Cycles here. Because I couldn't fucking do it. So, seeing Doogile go for it or not go for it, it's still an immensely impressive run. And obviously, at the end of this run, we just have to sit and wait for the perch. It is pretty damn close. Chat is going absolutely wild in the bottom left corner. And he actually goes for the forcing the diagonal perch, which I love, by the way. Again, it's a play that no one else is really going to think of unless you're on this world record pace. Because I'm pretty confident Doogile could hit this 1 cycle, but I'm also pretty confident he probably doesn't practice it. He doesn't practice going for a diagonal perch. But for those of you who don't know, this is a set seed strategy whereby it saves about 4 seconds, I believe, to perch diagonally versus perching from the north-south towers by circling this way and coming in. Instead, going for the diagonal is just going to save him a couple of seconds if he gets really lucky. Obviously, there's a much higher chance that this dragon just picks a new node and starts circling around here, for example. But just the attempt of this play, I think, is just a testament to how good Doogile is as a runner. Just able to find these opportunities and try and exploit them to the best of his abilities. Obviously, there was a few mistakes. You know, you can nitpick out 4 seconds from anywhere in this run. Like, you can find tons and tons of spots that he could have saved 4 seconds in. But equally, had he have made those decisions, he may have lost 4 seconds elsewhere. This run was so clean that I don't think anyone could nitpick this on being, he should have done this to make this better. The only thing I would say is, obviously, had he have known that this would have been a 730, I don't think he cares for second place. This guy does not care for getting second. I know that Doog wants the world record back, and I know that he can get it. Obviously, once he does finish off this 0 cycle, the time does finish. It is very close to the world record, but it doesn't quite make it. It is a 7 minutes and 30 seconds run. So just, I think, around about 4 seconds off the world record. I think the world record after retime was 7:26. You know, with the extra couple of seconds. It's a crazy run. Someone's going to beat this world record way sooner than I thought. I thought this world record would last for like 6 months. It looks like it might not even last until the end of the year at this rate. There's been changes in the top 5 more in this last week than there has, I think, for the previous like 6 months. So, insanely impressive. Ever since the Specners get the record live with GNG, everyone's been starting running again. Absolutely love to see it. I'm so glad and grateful to see a bunch of people resetting Minecraft again, and I'm really hoping to like bring light to this in any kind of way that I can. I'm definitely going to be doing more of these kind of analysis of runs. I'm not the best. I'm definitely not trying to say that I'm like some sort of world record contender, but I love bringing light to some of these amazing runs that people may not know about. If you've got any more ideas for runs that I should review or like look back over, then drop a comment. If you don't mind subscribing to this channel, I'm going to try and be uploading on here as much as I can. There's going to be more of this kind of one-take, lower editing stuff, but I'm really enjoying this sort of stuff. I think that this is something that I want to do more, so dropping a subscription to this channel would really help me. Even if you don't decide to watch anymore, dropping a subscription would really, really help. Alright, I think that's it. If you haven't already, watch the main channel video. It'll be linked on the end screen, and I will see you very soon.